Welcome back. You're watching CNN News 18 with me, Poonam Burde. News coming in now of the Nobel Peace Prize that has now been announced. The Norwegian Committee deciding to honor an Iranian human rights activist with the Nobel Peace Prize. Narges Mohammadi, the most prominent human rights activist in Iran, has now been honored with this award. Even as we speak, she is serving a sentence of 10 years. She is in a Tehran prison. She has been awarded for her work for fighting against the oppression of women in the country of Iran. Abhishek, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more details. Abhishek, she and her partner have been living in France in exile for several years. For most of the past 2 decades, she has been in and out of prison in Iran for the kind of fight that she's been leading for women in the country.
It's a step towards acknowledging the fact that several people in Iran have been fighting for the equal rights, for social, non-discriminatory attitude from the government, and the oppressive kind of behavior and non-democratic behavior that the Iranian regime has been perpetuating on its people. So, Mohammadi, who is almost like 51 years old, she's been awarded this year's Peace Prize, and we know that she's still in jail. And in September 2022, we had seen how the killing of Mahsa Amini in the police custody, apparently by those people or the police personnel who were supposedly trying to, ensure a decent clothing for women in Iran, that has erupted in a widespread protest across Iran and had brought to the fore the oppressive nature of Iranian regime against women. So in a way, the Nobel Committee has awarded this year's Nobel Peace Prize to Narges Mohammadi, and this is also an acknowledgement for the many women's equal rights defenders who have been raising their voice against Iranian regime.
Absolutely. We've seen the kind of protests that have rocked the country there over the last 1 year, over the last few months. We've seen several activists, unfortunately, have died. They've been jailed. So this really is a win, not just for this one person, but for the women of that entire country, isn't it?
Well, of course, it's an acknowledgement, of course, to the great work that Mohammadi has been doing at a great risk of her life and great personal cause that she has paid for her entire life. She has been multiple times in the prison, and in a total 31 years has been in prison, and she was also awarded 154 lashes. So literally, she's been tortured, she's been in prison, she's been oppressed. For what? For the rights of women in Iran. And there are many more women who have been defending the rights of women in Iran, equality and social justice for women, not only in Iran but across the world. So wherever there are such defenders of human rights, such defenders of equality in society, Nobel Peace Prize Committee has been in the past also acknowledged those defenders, and it has rewarded them in the past also. And this year also the prize, in a way, signifies the kind of attention the world should give to the equality and social justice across the world, including a place like in Iran.
Absolutely. This announcement just coming to the fore a few minutes ago from Oslo, the Norwegian Nobel Committee deciding that this year's Peace Prize needs to be awarded to a woman who's been speaking for the women of her country. She's done so even from jail. That's really what the Nobel Committee said even as they awarded her with this honor. In fact, let me just quote to what the head of the Norwegian Nobel Committee had to say while this honor was being announced. She said that Mohammadi's brave struggle has come at tremendous personal cost, and even as we speak, she is in prison. The regime has arrested her 13 times so far, convicted her 5 times, and sentenced her to a total of 31 years in prison. 3 decades in prison, and yet she has been constantly speaking for the women, for the voiceless as far as Iran is concerned, which is why she's now been given this honor. The world, of course, is going to be celebrating this because this is not just Narges Mohammadi's fight alone. It's not just her honor alone. This definitely is going to put the spotlight back on Iran, the regime there, and the kind of women rights abuses that we've seen from that country, especially as far as women are concerned. On that note, we leave it there. We are shifting focus now.